Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Elises. Welcome to the God Factory. I'm the Zombie Slayer. Today we're going to be talking about Back for Blood. I'm going to give you guys 50 tips to become a pro in the game. Now, first I want to shout out a few YouTubers that have scoured the internet to find out these tips. And also, I've thrown in a bunch of my tips as well that I've learned from playing the game myself. So first, Gamer Ranks, Razoro, Fallout Plays, Player 2, Gaming Bolt, and Game Advisor. Shout out to those channels. We're going to put those channels in the description of the video. You guys go ahead and subscribe to them and we'll get right in. So we're going to do a brief description of each tip. So we're not going to go really deep into depth on every single one since this is 50 tips, but we will go into more depth on each one of these tips in different videos in the future. If you're like me and you like to learn on the fly, you can always join us on Saturdays and Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We always play something zombie related on that day. But for now, we're going to be playing Back for Blood for a while. So you can join us there, ask me any question you want in the stream, and we can practice it out. We can try anything you like for science. Just come to the stream, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Times, and we'll be playing something. Now for what you came here for, the tips. Tip number 1, cards. First card we're going to talk about on the list is going to be the Money Grubber card. It practically breaks the economy in the game. All you really have to do is equip it, collect all the copper that you find, and then use your copper wisely. It's pretty game breaking and OP. Just make sure you use it wisely. Number 2 is kind of an impolite tip, but you can unlock rewards in the game by playing the game with bots, but you have to do it in a weird way. You have to join a game, and then you have to leave the game, multiplayer, and then do it again until you only arrive there with bots. It's kind of impolite, but it does work. Number 3, kill a snitch without calling the horde. You could either jump this snitch, you know, snitches get stitches, jump him with melee and just beat him up. Just beat him up and just keep knocking him down until he dies and he won't be able to get up and yell. Or you guys could throw grenades at him, or a couple of you guys, or a few of you guys, can go over there and melee him while one shoots from afar. The stumbles from the melee should allow you guys to get some good shots off on him and be able to kill him, finishing him off from afar with the sniper. But if you guys get the mutation card, the corruption card that makes them alert without dying, then all that stuff doesn't matter. So you're gonna have to actually avoid them. Number 4, stun guns can save your life. Don't neglect the usage of them. They may seem useless because you're just running around with it, but the moment you get stuck and don't have one, you'll realize what I mean. Number 5, keep an eye on your trauma. If you don't heal yourself when you've already taken damage, there's a higher chance that you'll receive trauma when you get attacked the next time. So make sure that you heal up whenever you can. Use those bandages. But if you do, in fact, get trauma inflicted on you, you can temporarily relieve yourself of that trauma by using pain pills. But make sure that whenever you come across the first aid kit on the wall, always use it. Number 6, someone should always carry a toolkit with them. You guys can unlock those rooms that give you guys bonuses like extra attachments or better weapons, a lot of copper a lot of times, and a first aid kit will probably be in there that's on the wall. So make sure somebody carries a toolkit. You guys can also use those toolkits to open up alarm doors without setting the alarm off. Or you guys can use them to like lower bridges and without setting the horde. Number 7, you guys should be specializing your cleaners, similar to an MMO or a MOBO. Snipers should specialize in focusing on mutations and their weak spots. They should also be the healer for the group, so when somebody's damaged, they can go and heal them with like first aid or bandages or painkillers or something. A sniper's secondary weapon should probably be something that shoots fast, or either another primary weapon, which you'll need to use a card. Shotgun users should focus on groups in nearby mutated, covering the sniper, and a melee weapon or 2 primaries is the secondary preference. Assault rifle and light machine gun users will be providing suppressive fire and cover for the shotgun users and the sniper users. Basically, you're gonna finish off the mutations that the sniper has already weakened, and then when the sniper and the shotgun user call out their reloads, what you'll do is you'll fire on the zombies that are approaching them to keep them safe. SMG users, they should be the scout or the runner to rescue the others to assist the sniper when the sniper's too far from a fallen member or someone who's badly damaged. They can also be like bait, like you can use them as bait to aggro the zombies or the ridden and the mutations while the others fire on them. 2 primary weapons is recommended for this class, or a melee weapon. So however you play, it's kind of up. Number 8, cards absolutely required for veteran and nightmare mode are going to be down in front and hunkered down. You're going to be wanting to crouch when using one of these cards, but these will make it so that you guys don't have friendly fire during your missions, and that's going to be immensely helpful when you're trying to get through a nightmare match. And you're going to know the moment you get in there without these cards that I am right. Number 9, don't neglect melee. I know it's very easy to just pick up a gun and go shoot and never use a melee weapon, but don't neglect it. It's actually pretty OP when you start adding some good cards to it. And the fire axe is the best. Number 10, make sure you use cleaners effectively during nightmare in veteran. Doc is essential for nightmare. She can heal everyone once per level with no items, and Mom gives everyone an extra chance to go down. Just make sure to couple each cleaner with cards that cater to their abilities, like Holly. She'll give stamina boosts essential for melee and surviving higher difficulties, so make sure to give her cards that will couple with her already good skills. Number 11, do not be a lone wolf, ever, okay? And know how to react to different mutations, like Exploder. React to this Exploder by just scattering. Don't be near it when it explodes. When you see it, kill it. If you can, kill it from afar. Stinger reactions. Whenever you come across a stinger, make sure you kill it immediately. If it's far away, kill it as fast as you can. Mark it. Always mark mutations. Kill it. Just make sure you do that. Like, that's all you gotta do. The snitch. What you can do with the snitch, I said already before, you could just beat him up. Beat him up and he won't say anything unless that corruption card is activated. Tall boy reactions, you guys are going to want to call them out immediately, mark them. Somebody is going to need to aggro them, someone else gets behind them if you're meleeing them, and then you guys can beat them up. Somebody else can be shooting from afar as well. You guys can all direct fire onto them, or either 3 of you direct fire while one of you guys will provide suppressive fire for any zombies that are running up on your friends that are taking out the mutation, the tall boy. The hag reactions, personally I run from the hag. There are ways to get them stuck in areas, and then you guys can kind of do kind of a cheeky bug, and then they'll be stuck there and you can just beat them up until they die. But I normally just run from them. I try my hardest to run from them, but you're gonna have to try your hardest to get away from them. And there's some areas where they can't get into because they're too big. So for the ogre, you don't always have to fight the ogre, but to fight him, the best way to do it is just to be inside of something where he can't get to you, and then shoot him. Just shoot him in the hands, shoot him in the red spots, shoot him all over. Wall trap reactions. What you're gonna do with those, you're gonna listen for them, obviously, and then you're gonna memorize where they could be, because they're not always gonna be in the same place. So, but when you do see it and it hasn't triggered and got you, you can go right up next to the wall and you can just melee it. As long as you're right up next to the wall that it's sticking out of, parallel, exactly, hugging the wall, it can't see you, so you can just melee it, or you can shoot it from afar. Whichever way works for you. So just follow those kind of tips right there and you'll be able to kind of make your way through nightmare. Number 12, be smarter than the horde. Utilize any choke points and ensure the least amount of flank points, but don't trap yourself in case of exploders. You guys can be safe in a room, but make sure those exploders are in a decent line of sight to where you guys can kill them before they come into the room. Crushers, they need to be killed pretty fast too. But make sure you guys are smarter than the horde. Mutations always come first though. Number 13, learn about the weapons and the items that you're using at the shooting range. Learn which ones do more damage, learn which attachments go well with which guns, and the combinations that you might like. Just learn about it there. It's pretty easy. You just load in and then you can just turn left and there goes the shooting. Number 14, don't wait around. There's more zombies coming. There's more mutations on the way. Get going. Number 15, learn your enemies and the mutations and their weaknesses. Make sure you take out the mutations before worrying about the ridden. Always take out the mutations. Number 16, don't be stingy with your copper. Utilize every first aid wall kit that you come across. The first one is free on lower difficulties, and on Nightmare it costs 400. So use them. Don't hoard your copper. Number 17, go into your settings and maximize your field of view, and then keep the game captions on. Number 18, select the cards in your deck when you're building your deck in order. So select them in the order you want them to appear in the game, because that's how it works. Number 19, remember to use that bash. Whenever you're shooting and zombies are too close or you're reloading, make sure you bash. Remember, bash does not interrupt your reload. So you just keep on reloading while you bash those zombies. Number 20, ping everything. Ammo, resources, meds, wall traps, anything that you see, mutations, you guys need to be pinging it for your group. Ping it, ping it, ping it. Number 21, leave the birds, all the alerts, the alarms, car alarms, all that stuff, leave it alone. You don't need the problems, especially on nightmare mode. Leave it alone. Number 22, coordinate your ammo types. Make sure everybody knows what type of ammo everyone else is using. Pick up all ammo types. That's number 23. Pick up all ammo types and share, and share your copper. Number 24, hit those weak spots on those mutations. They will save you guys a lot of ammo, and they will save you guys a lot of health, because you're going to get hit by them if you don't. 25, never ignore your corruption cards. Always know what you're dealing with so that you can choose your cards accordingly and your playstyle accordingly. Number 26, actually use crouch in high difficulties. Crouch if you are in front shooting. If you got team behind you, make sure you're crouched, or you're getting shot in the back of the head, man, and that kills you. Anyway, number 27, change your matchmaking preferences. Turn on crossplay. Make sure that that is on, and make sure to prefer voice under the voice preference, because in nightmare mode you need to communicate. You just have to communicate with your team. It's just how it goes. I'm sorry for people who don't have mics, but if I can't communicate with you, I'm probably not going to play with you. Number 28, hit markers. Yellow hit markers are like critical hits, so you want to keep hitting that spot. Red hit marker is going to be that you hit a critical spot and you killed it, so you can move on to the next target, even if you can't necessarily see everything that you're looking at when you're shooting down. So pay attention to those hit markers. Number 29, cars with see-through windows can contain items sometimes. But make sure you break the window, because you can't grab through it. It's cool. You got to actually break the window. It's cool. It's not that cool, but you know, you do have to break the window if you want to grab the stuff there or get a weird angle on it. Number 30, just explore when you can. It's not imperative that you always explore everything, but you will find some Easter eggs and some nice little upgrades to your character or cards and stuff like that. Maybe better weapons, maybe better attachments, that health that you need, you know, that healing item. Explore when you can, but if you cannot, you better run. Number 31, unlock supply lines. Those are going to give you more cards to work with, and you guys can go into solo and play a solo campaign. You won't earn anything, but you guys can learn what those cards do. So unlock those supply lines and understand what you're doing when you're unlocking them at the same time. Number 32, gas cans can provide you guys with great support, like propane tanks as well. So use them and set them up whenever you know that you're going to have a big problem coming. So if you know the horde timer is counting down and you have like a little area that you guys can hold off, and you find all those containers, or the propane tanks and the gas cans, set them up strategically, choke points, whatever, and hold up there. And even for missions that you're about to do, that you know that you have to stay there for a little while, whenever you trigger some action that's going to call the horde. So just use those gas cans and propane tanks wisely. It saves you ammo and other resources. Utilize the razor wire. It's very underrated. If you upgrade it, it works very well for channeling the zombies or the ridden into certain areas, or either making it slower for them to approach you. So utilize that razor wire. If you have to set it up, then go back and get the stuff you wanted instead of the razor wire. So that's a good thing to do. Backtrack, come back, and utilize resources that were left behind. Number 34, use suppressors. Suppressors are a great addition. They don't really have a penalty for you. Doesn't like break your weapons, because there's no durability in this game. Number 35, buy cards on every map. Every time you're in a map and you find the card container, you'll find a card container that you can purchase it. Don't be selfish with your copper. Buy that card. It just gets you your cards quicker. Next, we have number 36. Plan for the horde timer. When you see the horde timer is getting close, plan for it. Don't just run out and just expect that you're going to run to the mission when you have 2 seconds left for the horde timer. Find you a spot when you see it's down to like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. The more time you have in planning, the better the outcome that's going to be for you. So make sure to plan for the horde timer. you'll set yourself up for success like that. Number 37, I recommend that you turn off the auto aim. I don't play with auto aim. I don't recommend that you do that because it could aggro other things that you don't want to aggro, like on accident. You accidentally think you're going to shoot really quick at something and then you shoot at something else, or either you want to shoot the stinger but instead you have auto aimed onto a ridden, and that's just going to get you killed. Number 38, keep an eye on your teammates' health and choose when to use a bandage or painkillers. Don't just use it for yourself just because you have it. If your teammate really needs it, you should probably give it to them. You can apply it yourself onto them. So number 39, focus on your team upgrades. Upgrade your team before you upgrade yourself in many cases. So I'm talking about at the beginning of each match, focus on those team upgrades. Cards, get those team upgrades in there. Everybody will get a boost that those cards provide on those team upgrades. So focus on team upgrades. This is a team game. You're going to need to focus on your team a lot. I'm not saying neglect your own stats. What I'm saying is add some team stuff in there as well. Those team stat boosts should be also applied when you're using cards that are going to couple with your own boost that you're giving yourself. So I highly recommend that. I wanted to piggyback on that tip number 39, focusing on team upgrades. You can also use solo campaign to test out cards. You receive all the cards in solo campaign. That's why you don't receive anything like achievements or supply points for doing solo campaign, but you can do that in solo campaign to figure out what the cards actually do, so that when you go into an actual match, you can know exactly what the cards are going to do and how it affects your play style. Number 40, don't waste your ammo, especially at higher difficulties. Well, lower difficulties like recruit, you can do whatever you want, but veteran and nightmare, don't waste your ammo. If you can kill it without using ammo or by using less ammo, always. Number 41, find the high ground. The high ground is going to give you the best chance for you to defend yourself against the horde. If the horde is climbing or mutations are climbing, they can't attack you. So while they're climbing, kill them. They can't do anything while they're trying to get to you. So that's the perfect time for you to melee, save some ammo, and just take them out while they're trying to get to you. Number 42, use those Molotovs effectively. So use a Molotov in a choke point, doorways, whatever, hallways. Use them there. That's where they're going to burn the most zombies anyway. And don't try to use your Molotov on a tall boy, because it really doesn't do anything. Number 43. Me personally, I play on the hardest difficulty, and then I go back and play on the easy difficulty, just so that the game feels like a cakewalk once I get there. But technically, you should probably play on the easiest difficulty, which is recruit. Learn the enemies and their weak spots. Learn what works good, learn what doesn't work, and then also learn the cards that you're using, learn the levels, like the layout of the levels, and learn what different items are good for. Just learn everything you can about the game before switching over to a higher difficulty and trying to beat it. You'll just frustrate yourself. Number 44, great one here. Use Combat Knife card and Battle Lust. Use them together. Those two cards together, you'll regain health, 2 health for every melee kill, and your bash, not a melee, but your bash will turn into a melee, and that will cause you to gain that health. Also, it'll save an inventory slot so that you don't have to equip a melee weapon, and then you can use a gun instead of a melee weapon in your secondary and still reap the benefits of any of your melee cards. Number 45, keep an eye on your stamina, like a real big eye. You need a third eye to keep on your stamina in this game. But yeah, keep an eye when you're sprinting and when you're meleeing. There's a special way that you need to sprint and jump. So when you're jumping, don't hold the sprint. Do not hold the sprint. That's my bonus tip. That's one of my bonus tips that I found out by playing myself. Do not hold the sprint while you jump. So you can be sprinting while you're running, blah, blah, blah. Let go of sprint, then press jump. After you've pressed jump and you're in the air, you can hold sprint again. But if you don't do that, if you're sprinting and you just jump, you're going to use a lot more of your stamina. Pause the video right here and try it. Alright, that's enough time for you to pause the video. So we're back. So just make sure that you saw that and then you know that I'm right about that. So stamina being used wisely is going to be the key to your survival in this game. Killing and getting away from stuff. Number 46. Alarm doors can be activated with toolkits and by triggering the ridden to hit it. So mutations or ridden. If you are on the other side and you make noise or whatever, and then the zombies know that you're there, all you really have to do is let them hit it a couple times or one time, and then you can break it down. The alarm will no longer go off. So that's great. Once they've hit it, it's deactivated. Number 47, listen to the AI over the radio to guide you through the run. So a lot of times they'll just say stuff over the radio, like the AI will say something, but if you listen to that, that'll tell you how you should play the game or where you need to go. And there's lots of cues that you'll hear. So every time something is being said in the game, you should probably listen to it. A lot of the time, sometimes there's, just chatter, but you can decipher which one that is. Number 48, focus your shots when shooting stalkers and crushers whenever they have a hold of your team. So when they're grabbing your team member, you can still damage your team member by shooting them, unless you have those other two cards we talked about equipped. And then if you're doing that, you need to be crouching while shooting. But anyway, if you don't have those cards equipped, make sure you're focusing your shots on the creature that has them in their grasps, or you will damage your team member even more than they're already being damaged from the grab. Number 49, towards the end of acts, don't select cards that give you boosts to your copper. If you do that, then you're going to be wasting cards, and you're wasting copper anyway, because your copper doesn't transfer from act to act. So just make sure to not select any cards that are going to be improving copper on that run, or for the rest of that act, because if you're there, just especially in Act 4, there's only one mission, so don't do any copper things. You're not going to have anything to buy. So that's a good thing to understand as you get closer and closer to the end of each act. Number 50, we're here. Don't fight the ogre if you don't have to, okay? Don't fight the ogre if you don't have to. Just run past them. Kill the zombies that are in your path. Don't just run blindly. You have to shoot the zombies that are in front of you. Shoot them so that you have a path to go. Swing around, and you might have to, melee some of them while you're reloading. So reload, but while that's reloading, get your melee hits in for the zombies that are behind you, and then keep going. Don't fight the ogre if you don't have to. That's number 50. And a little bonus one here is, obviously, learn the cards you have and unlock more. Just keep unlocking those cards. That's just like the biggest tip you can have. Put these cards on there. Without these cards, without these decks made properly, you're not going to beat Nightmare. And that's just how it is. There's our 50 tips for today. Thank you guys so much for checking out the God Factory. Once again, I'm Elises. I'm the Zombie Slayer, And if you guys want to come and join us anytime we're alive, just make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the like button too. That'd help us out. Hit that algorithm up. Anyway, if you guys want to hang out with us on the weekends, we always stream 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're always streaming something zombie related on the weekends. So come hang out with us there. We can try stuff for science, like I said earlier. You have a question, we can try it out right there, or we can give you some information at that point. Also, we're doing a giveaway. We always do giveaways. Hit me up. The God Factory's out of here. Elise's out of here. The Zombie Slayer's out of here. Bye, 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 bye.